Minion in. Hey everybody. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. The last week has been an eye-opener. I'm not sure if I mentioned in my last video that I had an operation. I had a stent put in for a deep vein thrombosis that I had together with a new pulmonary embolism. My second or third, I can't remember. It's been a lot of blood clots. So went in, had surgery, had at one point what this procedure is they take a long like a wire with a little ultrasound needle at the end of it, and they make a cut in the back of your knee, insert the needle into your vein, and then run it all the way up through your vein into your thigh, which is very comfortable. And then the needle at the end, they leave in there, they leave the whole wire in there for 24 hours while that little needle does its little ultrasound thing and pump chemicals into your bloodstream that are supposed to remove blood clots, which in my case did not work. So the next step they did is they used that same passage to put in a stent, which is like a little wire mesh tube that they put where the blood clot is that wouldn't go away, and just kind of smush the blood clot up against the wall like it's a Japanese subway passenger. And they do this by wrapping it around a balloon, and they shoved a balloon into me and then inflated it, and it was indescribable. At one point, they had a hard time getting it all the way up my leg. So at one point, after like half an hour of trying and not getting anywhere, this other doctor comes in and he says, "Hold on to something." And before I even had a chance to hold on to something, he starts wrestling my leg like he's Steve Irwin and my leg is an anaconda. Hurt like hell, but he got it in there. And 4 weeks later, I discovered that the swelling of my leg had not gone down; it had gone up. And I had a new deep vein thrombosis, a new blood clot formed inside the stent that they gave me. So the stent was completely useless. I went all through that for nothing. And I've now been diagnosed with a genetic coagulation disorder, which means it's not from having sat on my ass too much or anything. I just have a disorder that makes my blood clot when it's not supposed to. And I have to take blood thinners for the rest of my life. I have to wear compression socks for the rest of my life, and that's super comfortable and super fun. And I've been told today, I just got back from my appointment, that I'm just going to have to get used to the idea that for the rest of my life, my left leg is going to be twice as big as my right leg. That's my life now. I'm always going to have different sized legs. Got to take the blood thinners for the rest of my life, and the blood clot is there to stay. It's now hardened to the point where it's not going to break off and turn into a pulmonary embolism, but that's just, there's a thing in my leg that doesn't need to be there and another thing that's holding it in place. So yeah, that's me now. I don't have to be on bed rest anymore, which is good news. And it's nice to have a diagnosis to explain what has been happening to me, and I like not being in mortal peril anymore. Constantly, when I was on bed rest, I had to worry that if I moved wrong or shook too much or hit a bump in the wheelchair, that part of the blood clot would break off, move into my chest, not grab a hold there, and then go into my heart, and that would either be instant death or require immediate open heart surgery. And I'm glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I went to the emergency room several times because I felt a discomfort in my chest, and I was paranoid that I was about to die. So many MRIs later, things are okay. I'm lopsided now. That's my new thing. I'm going to be lopsided forever. That brings you guys up to speed, I think. I'll keep you posted if there's any new developments. Minion out.